Well, actually, that is just greedy. I think always. That is the default one, so don't need to define that here then. Layout properties. It's funny. Why would I have syntax highlighting here and not any other one? Test that one needs a resource. Oh, what is my CMake config? Release, that's not interesting. Let's set this to beta test, I guess. Where the default, if you don't pause anything, then the default property should be priority 0, weight, I don't care, default. And minimum should be greedy, minimum width. Alignment, also don't care, there's nothing to see with spaces. These are already properties that we can pass aggregate with designated initializer. Greedy. That should work. Yeah. I need to make the horizontal layout. Yeah, ask for ideas for how to call those things. There's no other information here, I'm afraid. No, I think I can use a unique pointer. But Means that layout item must have a virtual destructor. It doesn't have that yet. In fact, what is it thing called? Xspin. Test spin. The text span is now derived from layout item. That does have a default thing, but it's no longer needed if the base class is going to have it. Instead, let's put it here. Open door. I have a create functions here to return a unique pointer to a text span, but I think you can assign that to a unique pointer of a base class or text span. That should be supported. So there is no reason to change this, really. Although in the end I am going to store it. Yeah, if I store this as a layout item, I need to be able to go back to the text span. I need another virtual function that tells me that it is in fact text span, or move all those virtual functions to the layout items, which I don't like. Or maybe I do neither. Maybe I just add a virtual function to layout item, like do the render. That will call these things. This is what probably has to do with just rendering. We're going to need some virtual function, so probably not worry about this. And then we also have a paragraph that is apart from the space of the third one that is derived on the layout item. Now this can no longer be constructed on the stack. That is, I want to save it as a standard unique pointer to a layout item, so it must be allocated on the heap. So the constructor must become private. Constructors, there is separation between the members and the whatever else. Just repeat the prompt. And then we need, yeah. Hey Richard. Yeah, I'm using AI when I have the feeling that it helps. It is not often. I try to get the design of these classes correct based on my 30+ years experience. And I'm very sure that if I ask the AI to, like, you know, finish this, and it adds more than one file, then it just screws up so much that I'll have to spend more time on it when I just write it myself directly. Typing it itself, I mean, yeah, it's mostly layouts, you know. The class design, headers and stuff I write myself. And then if at some point I need implementation of a single function with a difficult algorithm, then I ask the AI to do that, because why wouldn't I? And that then saves some time. But then I don't care how it looks like, you know, it's just one function and it will do what I want. It's not that important anymore. I think it screws up mostly on, you know, not using encapsulation, or yeah, I don't know. It's just the result is not maintainable and not flexible, or not has lots of code duplications and stuff like that. Public. I still use AI to brainstorm, but I would rather not have it touch my code too much. Yeah. What should we do here? I want to add a create function, and what should that return? Yeah, I remember, you know, I am in a different position, of course. I already have the knowledge and decades without AI. I see the problem, yeah. I think it's these days very hard to learn the old style, because it is so tempting to ask an AI for something. But you get back you still get back stuff that is not correct, and which simply does take a decade to learn, with you know, trying and failing. You have to fail a lot of projects. You have to have been working on a lot of projects where over the years you just feel the resistance and the annoyance and the problems that it creates for you to add stuff or remove stuff, change stuff. It takes a very long time. So if you can't get the AI to do that immediately correct, so you can just use pattern recognition and learn it correctly, and it doesn't do it correct, then I don't see another way than still learn it the old way, which is failing and then realizing that it wasn't correct, and then slowly learning what is the correct way to do it, which takes a very long time. So then you are in the situation where the correct way to learn coding takes a very long time, while you could also ask an AI and then you immediately get something that works. Except that you won't understand how it works, or you will definitely not understand what is wrong with it. And if ever you run into a problem where in the past you would run into that problem and then realize that there is a problem, and then now you will run into the problem and then just hand it over to the AI again. And then the AI will, you know, I don't know, work around it. I wonder what will happen if you let AI work for a decade on a large project. If then the project also will collapse. Because that's what used to happen when only humans work on a project and you don't write it in the correct way, then you get a house of cards that's full of clutches and workarounds, and you just you know, if you make a little change on this side of the project, then it starts breaking on the other side of the project in 3 different places. Like, it's not maintainable anymore. It's not robust. It's not flexible. Those words are important. And I can hardly imagine that won't happen for AI-written code as well, if they don't write it in a robust, flexible way, and they don't. But the AI has a much larger overview, well, much larger, 1 megabyte of context. So I think, I guess they will bloat codes, write slop until you need more than that 1 megabyte of million tokens. It's not bytes. You need more than those million tokens of context to have that. They have enough overview in order not to break something on the other side of the project. And while 1 million tokens is probably more than an average human coder can have in their head at the same time, it is going to happen eventually for a large enough project. But I suppose that it's going to take a few years of working, a few years of coding of an AI on a large project before that becomes a problem. It doesn't exist yet. Yeah, enough talk. Sorry, I'm gonna continue coding. So I'm trying to understand if I want to return a standard unique pointer of a paragraph or immediately of the layout item. Now, if I create something and I return a unique pointer of a layout item, then there is no after initialization possible. So the big question here is the paragraph finished in terms of initialization directly after creation? And that's not the case because we need to call append on it. So I create it and then I append several stuffs, several text spans in it. So yeah, we need to get back a unique pointer of the paragraph so that we can still call append on that, and then we can move the result into the horizontal layout object, which then stores it as a layout item. So we need something that is a unique pointer to a paragraph, call it create, and then we just pass the same arguments as the constructor. This is the static. I think I did it here as well, of course. Wait a minute, there's also a paragraph. That's not good. Let's try to leave here. That worked. I added to text span. Yeah? So we have create here, static unique pointer text span. It's the same thing, it's just the class itself. Create, and then we have the same arguments as I have for my private, I was going to say, but where is it? Oh, okay. This one is calling it itself. These two are calling derived classes, or create derived classes. So I have only one of these, and this is layout item and texts, and that is almost the same arguments. It takes properties instead of a layout item. In other words, this private thing must take a layout item and not properties. Actually, I think I used an R value reference, although a bit of nonsense, but okay. I put it up front, also a weird choice, but there is no front here. And then, well, it must be moved to the base class, because it's it wouldn't make any difference, but just guys, if you see an R value reference, you expect a standard move, right? So, there's nothing to move inside a layout item, but it felt like I wanted to do this, so I did it. Now here I have no derived classes, I only have constructors. So in this case I'm gonna add, it's not a property anymore, it's a layout item. So put the property at the end and the item up front. Totally random. In order to I don't confuse them, I guess. I think that was my subconscious idea. Because a layout item can be constructed from a layout item property. Okay, so this one also needs to have a layout item or value reference up front, instead of properties at the end. And that is then passed to the base class in the same way as here. The same way, meaning that we move it. Move. There's absolutely no reason anymore to make this explicit, because it doesn't take properties anymore. It might be problematic because you can only add explicit for a constructor. I won't be able to do that for the create function. Yeah, I'll see. It doesn't compile anymore. Okay, so we go spy again here. What do you had? Just return standard unique pointer created with new instead of standard make unique, because I've got the reason actually. Also, I couldn't use it. Why not? Damn it! Why is my memory so bad? It does the exact same thing anyway. Standard make unique just returns a unique pointer created from new, whatever. But I try to remember why I had to do this. I don't know. Really, it's horrible. No memory left. Return and a unique paragraph. New paragraph parameters. And then it should be possible to just pass these. Also here we have properties, which I just passed. I have to cast them to a layout item. Why would that be? Yeah, because of the R value reference. I don't think it's necessary, but why not? It's a bit vague actually. It makes it tiny little bit more readable, I think, personally. So we can create a layout item from a layout item properties, which is now a temporary class, obviously, which therefore can perfectly be passed to an R value reference. And then it's just forwarded to the base class, semi-forwarded. Yeah. Then we have another one, almost like it, but this one takes a rendition. And the renditions are so small I don't bother with const references. Just saying. Right, well that will break the code, because now we don't have public constructors anymore. We'll have to call the creates. What did I change here? Oh, okay. Pen. I forgot what I did here. I don't see it. Oh no, I see it. I removed the destructor. Okay. Yep, no matching function for call to paragraph constructor in the test. Who cares? Do we have to work with an standard unique pointer now? And then we call stat create, passing the same stuff. Let's check if that is true. I pass in rendition and some initializer list with a minimum width, and that will end up using this one, rendition and properties, which is an aggregate, so we can pass an initializer list which mentions just the minimum width, and that returns a unique pointer to a paragraph. So this now is a unique pointer. Therefore the rest of the code must be adjusted as well, changed from a normal thing to a pointer. Now we can call append on it. Return paragraph, yeah, that's definitely not going to work anymore, obviously. This also must become a standard unique pointer. To a paragraph. Which then means that make a paragraph wherever that is called. We have an append here. Did I make a copy then? Pads. So terminal. Oh yeah, a pad has exists of a list of paragraphs. Oh well. Yeah, well. Okay, so this now becomes. Might as well make a vector of it now. I think I used the list because if you expand or collapse paragraph, then another paragraph needs to be inserted and removed. So that could be somewhere in the middle. For example, this one. Say this is a paragraph, whatever. This is a paragraph, the highlighted thing, and then more paragraphs follow. Then actually this exists of two paragraphs. The click to expand is a paragraph, and this thing is a paragraph. Maybe the ... plus click expand is a paragraph. And this is a paragraph that you have a view into. So there's more of it, but we don't show it. We just show this. And then the last 1, 2, 3, 4 lines are another paragraph. So now actually it's, so we show a view of this. We click it, we just enlarge the view, that doesn't change the paragraph. And then we still have a paragraph below that. So I don't really need to insert or delete anything. It was 2 paragraphs before, and if I click on it, it's still 2 paragraphs. But I do need to change this. Okay, that's then just a paragraph that either prints this 4 lines or this 3 lines. But it's not necessary to insert a paragraph. I thought that maybe, you know, that say if this was not shown, you click to collapse, then we would have to delete in the middle of a long list a paragraph. That's why I use the standard list. And then especially if what you store is big. But that's of course the whole point. That now we're going to change this to a standard unique pointer. So the paragraph is big, but the unique pointer is not big anymore. I think I might as well make this a vector, standard vector, although I'm super a little bit hesitant. I'm just going to make it a standard vector, I think, and then if ever I write a code that inserts something, then I will realize, hey, wait a minute, now am I still inserting something in the middle of a vector? And I might revisit it, maybe change it back to a list. I'm going to store unique pointer paragraphs. So the append can now just take a standard unique pointer to a paragraph as an R value, which he then simply pushes back into the vector. No changes. This now returns a vector. A vector of standard unique pointer. Yeah, that's it. The beauty of this kind of code is that if you make a mistake, and I make lots of mistakes, then it simply doesn't compile. It's an absolute objective that you must have. Code must be very resistant against compiling if you make mistakes, if you get what I mean. The AI doesn't care less because it never makes mistakes, not mistakes like that. So it has absolutely zero incentive to write robust code in that sense. Yeah, I forgot what I was doing. As usual. Make paragraph. Oh, yeah, I was looking for make paragraph then. So it returns a unique pointer now. And now append takes a unique pointer, so hey, it is fixed. And if I forget something, then it should really not compile. So the compile errors will point out where we did forget something. And I've completely forgotten what I did and what I still have to do, so it is time to compile. Yeah, this is just a typo, not super interesting. Invalid initialization of reference of type paragraph from an expression of standard unique pointer. Yeah, okay, that's definitely then missing here. So now paragraphs is a vector of standard unique pointers. It used to be a list of paragraphs. So if you iterate over the items of a list, you get paragraph references. And I could use auto here because it starts to become a bit long, you know. Auto. On the other hand, I hate auto. This code is like more auto than something else. Personally, my own code, and this is my own code, isn't it? Damn it, it just is my own code, man. I think my own code would be paragraph type, value type, I think. Might as well use auto, I realize. Yeah, it's a bit vague. This is too vague. Okay, let's make it standard unique pointer paragraph. Well, I don't need a reference actually. I don't need a reference. Because you can use the pointer itself to access the paragraph and then change it. I have this old habit of hating that a reference counting thing. Oh damn it, and a unique pointer is not reference counting. Okay, yeah, that would even be worse this. So if we make a copy of the unique pointer, we would take the ownership out of the paragraph. So it's absolutely not what we want. Hopefully this would not even compile, because that would be very sneaky wrong. Let me try that out. Yeah, very good. So it's deleted. What I'm trying to do here, I'm trying to make use of a deleted function. The deleted function being copy constructor. You cannot make a copy of a unique pointer. I definitely do not want to move it out. So we'll have to make this a const reference. And you can still treat it as a non-const paragraph. Okay, here we have an iterator to something that contains the unique pointers. So I have to dereference the unique pointer first, I'm afraid. Or the iterator. No matching function for call to embracing closed initialize list, because well, this one wants a rendition, but that's clearly not what I'm trying to do. Candidate expects 2 arguments. Well, that belongs to this. So the next candidate is something that only takes a layout item. Apparently that refuses to out of nowhere construct from layout item properties. That would explain why I had to add that explicitly, but yeah, it just doesn't know. Oh, wait a minute. So suddenly it turns out that I made the right decision, I would say, to use an R-value reference. Because we can construct a layout item from a layout item properties. But that's not going to happen if it is an R-value reference. Interesting. Well, on the other hand, maybe I want this to compile. Bit vague. Wait a minute. Okay, I know I'm senile, but this is a little bit too much. It's a bloody constructor. We have to use create these days. Begin with that. paragraph dot I'm still not sure if this. Oh yeah, that is the reason. So I looked at the wrong error. Maybe it followed. Maybe the second error was the one that I should have looked at. But so I was using an item layout as the argument for the paragraph, and even put it up front instead of at the end. But in this case, there is only one argument anyway, so that didn't matter. And then it refused to convert my initializer list to that object, while it would it will convert the initializer list to layout item properties object. But that's not what this thing takes. But create does, so this is gonna compile. And the constructor that I was trying to use here is private, so that was the real error, of course. Oh, it's kind of the same thing now. This now returns a unique pointer. So well, this was an auto, you know. It compiles. Well, time to run the test suite, I think. Debug parent member coverage. Oh yeah, that's correct. I was a bit lazy there. Yeah, the without ava print members on for line 28. Properties. Well, let's just try to put this there in all cases. Other things we have. Classes. Without any of these, we're going to use this one again. Horizontal layout, layout item, and spacer. Yeah, those are the new classes. Do you need a header for that? Unless layout item already does it. And it will. This is layout item, and that already has that one. So whatever header is needed is already in there. debug.h. Suspicious. Already added those. I'm now confused. What was missing? There's nothing missing here, or I just added it. And the spacer. Oh. I described that in agents.md here. If a header file defines a class that uses our debug print members on, then include our debug print members on to get that markup. And I'm not. And I'm just not convinced, but okay, it's what it says here. You would expect that there would be a lot of includes like that then. Yes. Okay. In that case, it seems to be correct, and they're all at line 3 basically, except here, which then is probably an error. And why is it also in debugged? Just including debug.h is also good. And now we had new headers, which all include that. So this one should include also, but it's already including debug.h. That's why it wasn't necessary. Let's add it anyway. Now the weird thing is though, if I add this header here at the top, then why does it have to be at the top? Because the debug.h is not doing it at the top. And I'm including it twice, which I'm pretty sure gives a compile error. This thing does not have a pragma. It's going to complain about defining stuff twice. I think we'll literally have to say somewhere that this should not be included if debug.h is included. Super vague. Oh, I don't know. If I still have to manually run generate members. I'm gonna do it just in case. Generate members. Root tests. I think there's a music repeats. I'm gonna stop it. Okay. Yeah, okay, everything still works apparently. Okay. Status. Let's see. mint alignment. Okay, I need more music than nothing. Yeah, maybe that's. Just graduated from ncurses test like a long time ago into terminal namespace test. Maybe we should split it up. Maybe not. Is there any that is, well, 03 is not, and 01 was already deleted. Only 03 is not using terminal. What the hell is this using terminal for though? Maybe just a comment. That should not using terminal. Terminal. That's just comments. But still, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No. Oh yeah, well, I'm using context. Is hardly. Just avoid code duplication. So I would count this one as testing terminal. Probably this one neither. Just using the context. And the wrapping. Wrapping is using stuff these days, yeah. Nou ja. Wat komt nou het pad? I want to have a pad in the middle of my layout happening. Probably not, actually. No, definitely not. Pad is not even visible. The view of a pad is visible. Is there a view inside a pad that I already have that I might want to add? That would only be interesting if it was for scrolling. I can hardly imagine I have something that looks like a row, or at least, you know, it could be 2 lines, 3 lines, and then have something in the middle that scrolls. Nah. And spacer needs to create as well. Yeah, exit the up, and then this, and then it thinks that I wanted to do that. Did it copy it? Oh, never be able to see that there. Nope, did not even copy it. Okay, new trick. Thing does not have any members, or there's a base class then, but space. Yeah, I think there's nonsense, of course. LayoutItem already includes that. Was that already uses standard unique pointer? Except that it doesn't. And edit this thing. Layout. I have half an hour left till the shop's close. I feel like eating something that I would still have to go buy that. Probably should do that. What is the problem here? No matching function will call to create stuff. Candidates, just properties, or rendition properties, no text. Oh, I have to append the text. So we want to do this nonsense. Yeah, we want to pass nothing. And then append the text. That is append to paragraph append. There it is. Must be a text pen again created. So yeah. Shortcuts on one word. And then that append should take an R value reference, otherwise something goes wrong here. Paragraph append, it does. Okay, I'll still have to move it. Yeah, I still want to declare this closer to where it is used. We don't have a default. Minimum width is 3 here actually. That's a default. Why do I not have a default here? I can just pass this then. Does it crash? No. Okay, let's go buy food. It's hard to rip myself out of this. At the very least, I have to realize what, you know, I have to do. Oh, there's a compaction. I have to do a compaction now. What is in my brain? Yeah, so the compaction is what is next is working on the horizontal layout. And now we made a test that creates a horizontal layout, I think. No, not yet even. Okay, so I have to. Next, we have to make a horizontal layout and put this stuff into it. Yeah, I'm not gonna call it horizontal layout. Or am I? Okay, I'm a coward. I'm gonna call it horizontal layout, I think. And then stuff, and then of course I'll add stuff, and then display it. and then allow resizing with keyboard. I'll be back later. Oh my god, why do I have 13 viewers? Well, but my tummy wants to eat food.